And that's the big danger right now. But the Syriza government has done the correct thing of not creating a climate of clash. They are creating a climate of cooperation. We want to cooperate, we want to negotiate, but we want to make it a deal that is viable for Greece as well as for Europe. We cannot be part of a postponement of the future, because that's what they're doing. That's what the Germans are doing. That's what the Euro oligarchy is doing. They're just postponing to deal with the issue, and the issue is the architecture of the Eurozone, the deflation going on right now in the Eurozone. The Eurozone is on a downward spiral as an economy, as an economy of 19 countries right now. So,
let me just ask you, Michael, Tsipras is going to France and Italy this coming week. And we also noticed that the first foreign representative that he called in was the Russian ambassador. I have been putting out this idea that Russia, Putin, having lost a lot of money in Ukraine on a dubious Yanukovych, Russia should come forward with something like a $5 billion support loan and maybe hold another $5 billion in readiness for later on. But something like this, that Russia, if they want to help, they need to think about.
But Russia could be ready to help in a case of emergency.
Okay. I'm afraid our time is gone. Michael, we hope to have you back next week and indeed for quite a while. So I hope you carve out sometime Friday evening for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. And we'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Bell Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Headlines, suspensions, FCC investigations. That's Mancow for you. Hear him here. G.
Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Just in line with Varoufakis telling Dijsselbloem of the European finance ministers that that Greece will not talk to the Troika, only with governments, not with supranational entities. That's very in the spirit of de Gaulle. The New York Stock Exchange down 250 points on the Dow. Minus 1.3% on the S&P 500. It's a 3% loss for January. Very bad omen, and this has been the biggest monthly decline in a year for the Standard & Poor's 500 index. So maybe some tremors now. People realize how much they need Greece. Believe me, Greece leaving the euro, driven out by Merkel, kicked out by Juncker and Moscovici and Draghi, that would be an absolute disaster. That would be a cataclysm. Don't listen to anybody who tells it to you any other way. But now, let's go on to listen to some analysis from Daniela Walls. She, of course, the chairperson of the Tax Wall Street Party, who has taken a tremendously important role in helping Reverend Edward Pinkney and his legal defense and his political defense. And she's also fresh from our leadership seminar that we held here in the Washington, D.C. area the previous weekend. And, of course, the conclusion was a victory party, very joyful moment that at the end of our educational weekend, the news came in that Syriza was taking over the Greek government. First left-wing government in Greece ever in history, going back to Socrates, going back to Herodotus. 3,000 years, first left-wing government. Daniela, tell us about the Pinkney situation. What can we do?
I said last week, and it remains the same this week, that we have all the confidence in the world that Reverend Pinkney's hearing has been set for February 24th at 1 p.m. If you have something of interest connecting Gail Freeling, she also goes by Gail Schumacher Freeling or Gail Schumacher. It's her married name to either Clerk Sharon Tyler or Sheriff Paul Bailey, please contact me immediately at taxwallstreetparty@gmail. If you have direct personal contact with any of these individuals, if you live in Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, or Three Oaks, then please contact me. If we don't have a photo or a phone record or Gail with the prosecution, witness testimony is the next best thing. We need to prove the connection between juror Gail Freeling and either County Clerk Sharon Tyler or County Sheriff Paul Bailey. The connections are there. They are on paper, that they are work colleagues, and this is easy to find on a Google search, but the prosecution says that even though they are work colleagues, that doesn't necessarily mean that they physically met or spoke. So we need this hard evidence to free Reverend Pinckney. We need a photo of them together. We are trying to subpoena Gail's phone records, as you suggested last week. And if you are a witness that has seen them together or heard them talking, we need to speak to you as soon as possible. If you want to see a picture of what these three look like, so you know what you're looking for in pictures when you do your own research, visit freepinckney.wordpress.com to read the article titled Busted, or you can visit her Facebook page, Gail Schumacher Freeling. Don't be shy about this. Gail Freeling was identified during the trial as a racist, and so far this research has shown that she is heavily connected to the local establishment and prosecution. The prosecutor, Mike Sepik, wrote in his response to our arguments that this Gail juror knew the prosecution, that she didn't meet them in person, she only knew of them. We looked over the prosecutor Sepik's motions, and they're feebly put together in typical government work, meaning his responses are very pro forma but deficient in substantive arguments. So I need the audience to help us prove this connection. Again, if you are around the Three Oaks, Michigan area and need more instruction, then contact me. And I would like to give my personal take on Syriza. I don't know how much you've covered,
Please.
but from my own personal experience being the party chair and the vision we have for how this should go, I want to cover what I think Syriza did well. They had a program. Our program is stronger, clearer, and more suited to the United States. But we have many points in common, and the two most important things being to stop austerity and to use the central bank to finance a recovery program. They have organization. Syriza knows the United Front model in action. They have brought along fractured microgroups without bowing, this is important, to any demands outside their program to capture their government. So now they have a foothold from which to strengthen the organization and hold on to that power. On a daily basis, Webster, I get calls from different organizations or parties that say, hey, we'll ally if you just add, let's say, urban bike lanes to the top of your 5 major economic demands. And I say no, and they say, okay, we'll still join. So for the most part, if urban bike lanes means more to them than 30 million new jobs, then I say, have you any idea of the world crisis? Do you realize how close we could be to cataclysmic events? Our party has to move fast. There is a timetable. Our party, and I recognize this, it is an objective timetable. So you, urban bike lane person, or petty bourgeois process reform people have no idea of necessity. And necessity doesn't seem to exist for them. I know, and our party knows, that there is a necessity, and that therefore sometimes you have to move fast and sacrifice some of your smaller concerns for getting forces into the field and getting them fighting and putting the Wall Street sales tax and nationalizing the Fed for 30 million new productive jobs on the scoreboard. Another thing is that they had leadership. See, something that was poo-pooed by the Occupy crowd. Tsipras shows us now what a real leader looks like. He's professional, pragmatic. He has a global outlook. He makes public overtures toward Russia and Germany. He's the only opposition figure in the EU who wants to hold the EU together so he can use the central bank as an engine of recovery. And what we learned from this weekend at Euroconathon is that many activists live in subjective reality, the reality of feeling states. And at the Tax Wall Street Party, it is our job to be vigilant, to go from subjective, our feeling states, like I said, to things that are our verifiable, objective reality. We represent a higher level of what is going on in the world. This is real. This is what we try to represent. We try to know objective necessities, and then we try to act accordingly. In our opinion, activism fails when it proceeds according to silly little likes and dislikes. And the cause of civilization demanded that we come out fast and we talked actual program, be it the Wall Street sales tax or be it seizing and nationalizing the Federal Reserve. What I mean, an activist, what is your program? What do you, when I meet an activist, like I'll say,